we doing, guys? Again, we're Pop Culture Corner, and we're going to play a little game today called Dream Reboot, where basically what we do is we have our contestants come in, pitch us their cast for a movie that they should redo with their dream cast. They will each get a few seconds to go opening arguments, battle it out, and then we will pick as it goes to there. Today, our two fighters are
Bennett Nestle
and
Alise and Bennett.
And today, we are going to be recasting The Wizard of Oz. We're going to be doing the three main characters. They're the three lion, the witch. Yeah.
Not the wardrobe.
Not the wardrobe either. Okay. We're going to cut around this part. Let me start this part again. So we are going to be doing the Scarecrow, Tin Man, Cowardly Lion, Wicked Witch of the West, and Dorothy. So guys, first, Bennett, we're going to start it off with you. We are casting the Scarecrow.
There's no question the Scarecrow should be none other than Jim Carrey. And should I say it now, or do we wait till the debate?
Go for a little bit now.
All right, just a little bit. Jim Carrey is the ultimate physical movement comedy guy. You can see that from the beginning of his career all the way to the end. And he's just a funny guy, and we get to get some laughs out of the guy with no brain.
Perfect. All right. And to challenge him.
All right, my pick is Ewan McGregor. Ewan McGregor is just a really likable actor. I think he would fit the role of Scarecrow perfectly because the Scarecrow is so lovable, but he's got a history of being cast as lovable characters, like the upcoming Beauty and the Beast. He's going to be Lumiere. So.
All right, fight it out. Right. What do we got?
So Ewan McGregor, I think, is a little bit stiff. The Tin Man, he could work as the Tin Man maybe, but the Scarecrow has to be loose. He doesn't have anything in his body, so his whole thing is he goes all around and he just gets laughs out of that. I don't really see Ewan McGregor doing that, per se.
But also with Jim Carrey, does he have the singing chops for it?
Okay, yeah, but that's the thing. Scarecrow's the one where you don't need to have the singing chops quite as much because he can do a character voice. In fact, that kind of works against you a little bit because he is so precise and strong of a voice, it's not going to be as funny. It's going to be, wow, look at how great Ewan McGregor can sing. And the other one's going to be, wow, Jim Carrey's really lovable and funny.
But I think also with that, it's a matter of direction. It's how they direct Ewan McGregor. I mean, he is an actor, so it's like, they will tell him how to do it.
Real quick interjection. Are both of our cast lineups tailored toward musicals? So are we shooting for musicality?
Oh, this is musicals.
Yes.
This is
okay, so
straight up
be a musical in
musical
both these reboots. Okay.
And Jim Carrey has shown that he can sing. Definitely not as well as Ewan McGregor, but he has the character voice and he can be funny.
I think Ewan McGregor can sing and he's a lovable actor, and that's what you want.
All right, well, let's see. Let's go with Scarecrow. I think, honestly, I'm going to take out a little bit of a bias in here because physically, like you said, I like Jim Carrey in it a lot, but can he really
breaking my heart.
But can he really? Now I'm debating for a second. Would you hear me out? Jim Carrey is fun, but does he really have the singing chops for it if it's going to be a musical? But on that note, too, we've seen Ewan McGregor sing. Some of the movies he's been singing in haven't necessarily been the best, but we know he can do it, and he is a very great actor. But a little bit more, I kind of like Jim Carrey a little bit in this ensemble cast. I feel like Jim Carrey, takes round one as our Scarecrow. So we'll go ahead and tape him up right here. And while I do that, we'll go ahead and start with Alise this time in casting our Tin Man.
All right, I'm pretty confident in my Tin Man. Kevin Spacey is the original song and dance man. He can do it all. He can sing, he can dance, he can comedy. He can obviously serious. He can do a serious role. I think he's definitely the best pick.
Well, how can he be the best pick when we got Taron Killam, sweetheart of SNL, last season? Taron Killam has a big, strong background in musical theater. He was the dentist in Little Shop of Horror a couple of years back, and he was absolutely brilliant in that. And currently, he is King George on the hit Broadway musical Hamilton, which makes him pretty much Broadway royalty. And again, he's very funny. He can play the straight man. He's consistently played the straight man. And just a little thing about Kevin Spacey, I would be terrified of him as the Tin Man. I'd be afraid that he was going to choke out Toto as a dog, like at the beginning scenes of House of Cards. Why would Dorothy want to be with him if Toto's in danger? That's the whole point of the show.
Kevin Spacey can do it all. He can be the lovable guy. We just don't see him as that often. But
we don't see him that often because he's not as good as it. at
He
it.
did just play a cat recently, so there's that.
That's a big bonus point.
Trust the Kevin Spacey. That's all I'm saying.
Trust Kevin Spacey. I don't want to trust that we're gonna like him. I know I'm gonna like Taron Killam. Every time he gets on screen, he just makes me smile, and he's just.
All right, a little bit of closing thoughts. We'll go over here.
Oh, I'm just saying you can't argue with someone like Kevin Spacey. He has so much talent, and I mean, he's definitely got the chops for it. Where Taron Killam is pretty much still, he's like new on the scene.
Yeah, he's new on scene. It's gonna make the whole show fresh. See Kevin Spacey, I'm gonna be like, oh, we got some more old actors in here. I'm gonna take a nap while we're doing this song. And can he tap dance? I feel like I wouldn't want to see Kevin Spacey tap dance. Like he's like an overweight, out of shape actor in like his 60s at this point. Get some fresh new face, get him to dance, get him to a cool tap dance number, which is all what the Tin Man's about.
All right, let's see. So it feels like a lot of Kevin Spacey's argument was just trust the Kevin Spacey. I feel like that's what, that line pretty much kind of summed it all up. And I mean, there's a lot to trust there. The man's seasoned. He knows what he's doing. Whereas Taron Killam, he's a comedic actor. Like he's okay. Again, not as well known. He can sing, but Again, out of all of them, the Tin Man is the one that kind of has that more intimidating factor to him. And I mean,
he doesn't have a heart.
Exactly.
But he does have a heart. Have
missing,
you seen the movie all the way through?
But you know what? If out of these two, the one person that's missing a heart, and you can see it most of the time what he plays, is Kevin Spacey. So we are giving
I can't wait
the
to
Tin
see
Man,
Toto be
the
strangled
heartless
to
Tin Man
death.
goes to Kevin Spacey. All right, guys. So now we're going to move on to our Cowardly Lion. And that we're going to go ahead back to you, Bennett. Start us off.
This is actually my favorite pick. It's George Costanza, Jason Alexander, who, fun fact, has a Tony for Best Lead in a Musical and has worked on several Sondheim shows, so he definitely has the vocal chops. And honestly, the biggest thing about the Lion to me is that he's kind of pathetic. Like, really pathetic. Like, he's scared of everything. He showed on Seinfeld how funny it can be to have a pathetic person, and he can play it.
All right.
All right.
Wait, sorry.
Well, hold on. No,
Sorry.
we'll go back into it.
One more.
Give her
Okay.
a second. Give her a second.
We'll
We'll go back
Okay.
into it. We'll fight it out.
All right, well, my pick is Bill Murray because, as you mentioned, comedy is a big part of the Cowardly Lion, and there are very few people that do comedy as well as Bill Murray does. And I think that's something that really has to be considered.
Okay. So, Bill Murray's funny. He's one of the funniest people alive. But he's a dry sense of humor. Can we both agree on that?
Yeah.
Yeah, like if Wes Anderson's directing this, sure. But this is a melodramatic musical. It's a melodramatic movie. He's not getting those laughs by being subtle as the Cowardly Lion. You need to be big and expressive. And that's where Jason Alexander comes in. He's more than just one character. He's actually a phenomenal actor if you see a lot of his stage work.
But you also got to see him in something that I think you should consider is in Jungle Book, where he played Baloo, which is such a lovable companion character. And I think that transitions really, really well into Wizard of Oz,
Yeah.
where he's playing the Cowardly Lion.
Yeah, but he's playing a lovable father figure in this. The Cowardly Lion is not really a lovable father figure. He's kind of incompetent in a lot of ways. So I don't think Bill Murray is quite as bumbling. The only time he's been bumbling was in Caddyshack, and that was so long ago.
But that definitely just goes to show that he can play that.
Maybe if we filmed this movie like 30 years ago, but this is 2K17.
All right, quick final thoughts. Like one or two sentences. Why Jason Alexander?
Jason Alexander. Why? This is a lot of pressure with 2 sentences.
Just something quick.
All right. He can sing, and he can be a lovable person that can be buffoon.
Bill Murray.
Look at this face. This is the Cowardly Lion.
Okay, now, anybody who knows me knows that I am an extreme Seinfeld fan. I love that show. It's one of my favorite shows I've ever been on television. And I do think Jason Alexander is an amazing pick. He can do it. He's really, really good. And he can sing well. We already know that, like you said, in the Tonys. But again, I feel like Bill Murray's got it. With, like she brought it up, the Jungle Book performance. That's what I was waiting for her to bring up. He is very charismatic. He can play that animal role to where he's lovable. and he can just be a dope. Where yes, I feel like our lion, we're going with Bill Murray.
Well, I quit.
All right, we got to move on now to the Wicked Witch. Go for it, Elise. We're gonna make these ones a little bit quicker, even though they're bigger characters. But here we go.
Helena Bonham Carter. She obviously has experience as a Wicked Witch. Different scenario completely, but I think she's got the presence for it. She can be super scary, and she also has like the shrill kind of voice, which I think is kind of trademark of the Wicked Witch.
Bennett?
I'm going to take the Wicked Witch in a new direction. Because why are we going to reboot it if we're just going to do the same thing over again? I'm doing Cate Blanchett, one of the finest actors of her generation. In fact, her performance, I think, is something akin to what she did in Cinderella a couple years back, where she played the stepmother, and she was wickedly terrifying, and she didn't have to go necessarily over the top. She was just intimidated by just the subtle movements, and what that would really help is not necessarily the witch, which I think both of our people can competently play the witch when we get to Oz, but Miss Gulch is just as important, because she plays Miss Gulch at the beginning. And Miss Gulch is kind of not as sinister. She's sinister, but she kind of has a point. Like, she was bitten by Toto. Like, she's just like a woman that's kind of on edge and getting in Dorothy's way. And I feel like Cate Blanchett could bring that subtlety.
All right, we're going to shorten this up a little bit. Just go quick to closing arguments. Why no? Why yes?
Oh man. Okay. Well, I don't want to say anything bad about my queen, Cate Blanchett, but I'm just gonna make the argument. I think she's too perfect. I think she's too beautiful, and I think that she couldn't pass as the wicked, repulsive witch.
Why no? Why yes?
First off, we saw her in Cinderella being repulsive, and that could be the makeup department.
All right. Here we go. When it comes down to it again, we've seen one play a witch and one kind of play a witch elf in Lord of the Rings. So it's kind of like, for some reason, that's what shot into me when she goes all blue and goes like that. So that's kind of what, so they both can play scary, but again, the Wicked Witch is supposed to be like, is one of the original villains in cinema. She's horrifying, and Helen Carter definitely has that look. But I feel like that's a bit of a typecast for her, and a little bit too with Cate Blanchett. But you know what? I feel like the acting chops and someone who will bring more of a charismatic feel overall to it will be Cate Blanchett as our Wicked Witch of the West. So now we are tied at 2-2, guys. And the tiebreaker, the one who should bring it all home, Miss Dorothy.
Dorothy
Bennett, we're going to start with Dorothy as quick as we can.
Nobody can replace Judy Garland. She's my queen. Cate Blanchett's yours. She's my queen. But Lea Michele, I think, is the obvious throne to this. She can sing. She can emote. To me, Dorothy as a character is the most melodramatic, in a good way, expressive, emotional character. And that's what Lea Michele does best. You could see it on the good years of Glee before they went way off the rail. So whenever she was crying, I felt it. Whenever she was laughing, I felt it. And her voice is just incredible.
Millie Bobby Brown, what's not to love about this girl? She just took the hearts of everyone with her performance in Stranger Things. And I mean, that's what you need from Dorothy. You need someone that you're going to love.
Yeah, but she was very reactive in that show. She wasn't very... Dorothy, as a person, really is an active character. She does all her own things. She decides to go down to Oz. She decides to go back home. She was very reactive, so I'm not sure if she could really lead her own movie.
All right.
And I'm not sure about the singing.
We're going to use that as a closing argument. Why no to her? Quick shot back before we give deliberation.
Well, I mean, I just wanted to say, like, it turns out if she wasn't perfect enough, she can also sing. Just saying.
Okay, so she can also sing, and Dorothy is the big singer and the big lead drive and everything like that. And yes, I do a little bit tend to agree with Bennett there. She did a very good job, but she was very reactive. She had very few lines, and she did an amazing job. She was captivating, but she was very reactive, and we've already seen that this one can sing, and she has the chops to pull it off and drive the whole thing forward. So, Bennett, you broke the tie for the Dreamcast right here. And here we go, guys. Here is our dream reboot for the Wizard of Oz. Well, thank you guys for playing. A very nice fight between you two, and we will see you next time here on Pop Culture Corner.
Hit us up on Twitter.